Well, one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to apply some water just to make sure that there's not a cure and seal on here.
Looks like it's sort of soaking in. Does that tell us we don't have a sealer?
Correct. I'm spraying water on the floor right now just to make sure everything's getting absorbed. I can see right away that the water's pulling away in this area here, and we need to spot degrease this. And if you could put some degreaser on here, I'll continue spraying the floor, looking for some more problem areas.
Any concerns just washing this degreaser off into the driveway?
No, this is a biodegradable product. It's environmentally friendly and we should have no problems. Now that we've degreased our floor, our next step is we're going to acid etch it.
Acid, so I guess that explains the rubber boots, gloves, and goggles you've outfitted us with?
Correct.
This is the acid?
Yes, it is. In this particular case, we add one of these to 2 gallons of water. We are going to use a plastic sprinkling can. That's important because we don't want to use metal. Acid reacts with metal. And we want to make sure our floor is damp so that the acid has a chance to flow out. The acid is reacting with the surface of the concrete and it's allowing us to have some good mechanical adhesion. Now that we've finished acid etching, we're just going to rinse whatever dirt or loose particles were created and get the floor clean again.
So no concerns about rinsing the acid out into the driveway?
No, the acid has all reacted with the concrete and has become a salt. When the acid reacts with the concrete, it leaves little tiny particles of grip behind. So we're going to use this wet vac to remove those off the surface. How's that floor feel, Brian?
Feels real good and dry.
So just how dry do we need it before we put the epoxy down?
Well, the floor should be completely dry. Next step is we mix our epoxy together. And epoxy comes in 2 parts, a part A and a part B. You need to mix the 2 of them together for that chemical reaction to occur. Mix it well, wait 30 minutes, and we're ready for application.
So 30 minutes to set up and now we can paint, and how long do we have to work with it?
The epoxy has 2 to 2.5 hours of pot life. That's why we don't want to mix up any more than we need to ahead of time. Whenever painting a floor, it's a good idea to work in approximately a 2 feet deep by 6 foot wide area, and then use your finishing strokes in a perpendicular direction.
So Brian, what do you think?
I think it looks great.
You know, 1 coat does look good, but if we put 2 down, it's going to look fabulous. I think we should let this dry, come back tomorrow, and put down a second.
So Doug, did we have a good night for drying?
Yes, we did, Kevin.
All right, well, let's see how it looks. Hey, good morning, Brian.
Morning.
Can I walk on it?
Absolutely.
All right. Brian, what do you think?
I think it's definitely an improvement for what we had.
It does look good, but I can see a few places where it's a little bit thin and not quite as uniform as it could be.
So second coat?
Yeah, a second coat will take care of these problems, and there's something else we can do to dress this floor up even more. As a decorative effect, we have these color flakes that we can add to the finished floor system. They help hide some of these imperfections in the floor, plus they give us a very nice look. Floor needs a second coat, but not the walls. Brian, we've got enough painted here now that it's time to start putting the color flakes down. It's important to put the color flakes down into the epoxy while it's still wet so we have good adhesion. How's that look, Brian?
I think that looks really good.
That looks like a good job.